Steelers are on a 3-game losing streak. They feel like I did when I got hit on the sideline. This video of George Pickens not blocking on a Jaylen Warren run near the goal line has led to questions about the receiver's effort. Mike Tomlin had this to say yesterday.
Mike, last week you said that George's frustrations weren't productive and that's something you wanted to change. You had a conversation with him. How did you feel like he responded in the game on Saturday?
I thought he was better, but still has obviously room for continued improvement.
Mike, there was a play where Jaylen Warren was rushing down to the goal line and George Pickens wasn't finishing a block there. Is there a discipline or an effort that you have to get more out of him and other?
That's one of the examples that I'm talking about in terms of still obvious room for improvement.
Okay, so that's what we heard Tomlin say. And then Pickens was asked about the play. He said, quote, "I was trying to prevent a Tank Dell situation." Remember the Houston receiver that's injured? "I didn't want to get injured. When you stay in and block somebody, you can get run on very easily." Tomlin then held an unscheduled meeting with the media in the last hour. He had this to say.
When you're winning and doing your jobs, man, a lot of the attention and so forth is on things such as that. When you're not doing your job and losing, you better keep your damn mouth shut and understand that that tracks a certain type of attention as well. And usually that's vulture-like attention.
Okay, so we needed all that to make it all make sense. Tomlin did say Pickens will play this week against the Bengals, but Hawk, not what we're used to seeing in Pittsburgh at all. What do you think of what Pickens had to say?
Yeah, I mean, this is what happens when you're losing football games.
Yeah.
To Mike Tomlin's point. I don't think. What you got for me?
Hold on, Hawk. Boogie, take the audience behind the scenes of how this conversation went in the pre-prod meeting.
Well, yeah, we were going to talk about the game. And then we started going on this, and we were like, there is a problem inside the locker room, it seems like. There is something going on with this team, and we don't know what's going on. We're just using our eyes, our ears, and our thoughts to try to figure it out.
There's a standard that we're used to seeing in Pittsburgh. I'm from that area. I played in the AFC North. Yeah. You know you get the same thing year in and year out. Players are going to be disciplined. They're going to be tough. They're going to be accountable. And no matter what the talent level is, there is a level of Steeler football that you're used to. And for everything that's gone on, when I look at that play from George Pickens, can he block for sure? I get it. You don't want to get rolled up on.
Yeah.
This is football.
So push the guy into the end zone.
What you're sacrificing is now your running back taking another hit. Yeah. And there's an accountability there that, to your point, Marcus, is not there in the locker room, because there is no way that I would ever sit there in the receiver room and watch this film and be like, oh, yeah, this is all good. No, you put it on the line for your guy. And when you have to fire your offensive coordinator, that is a moment for all the players in every position to rally. Put it all on tape. To complain about getting the ball or what's happening or not happening, but then putting effort like that on film, that is the problem in Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Well said.
Let me say this, because I saw George Pickens' comments about how the media says things and people that never played the game. You ain't got to play the damn game, first of all, homie, to see that you ain't do a damn thing on the play that's in question. The second thing is, I want to inform the guys in the league, because I care about these young bulls and I want them to have success. When you start blaming the media, you flailing, bro. That means that you're looking for something else to take the attention off what actually happened. We all looked at that damn tape and saw you not touch a soul during that play. The question that's asked on any given play in football is for you to just do your job. I get it that we think about injury, that's every NFL player, but we would never have a career and we would never play it for an extended period of time if we thought about getting hurt on a routine play. You can get hurt running a slant. You can get hurt running those deep routes that you love to run. You can get hurt with run after the catch. All of those things matter, all right? So when the thing that fired me up about this, just say, hey, man, you know what? That's a bad look for me. I can't let that type of stuff show up on tape. Don't go at media members about, well, they ain't never played. You don't know what to say. The only people mad are the people that never been out there on the field. Well, we've been on the damn field. Me, Hawk, and Dan Orlovsky been out there, and we know that you gave up a guy in a block and you got your teammates stopped short of the goal line. That's all that matters when we get in the film on Monday. I had to get that out, man. I'm so sick of this. Every time we call something out, which is our job, then it becomes us hating or we don't know what we talking about. Go ahead, Dan.
Nah.
I just had to get that off my chest,
That's
man.
real talk, both y'all. One of the things that I loved about football, you learned that the name on the front was way more important than the name on the back. That's what football taught me. And when I watch that play and hear George's comments, that's the ultimate me over we. That's not football. And so it leads me to the question of, like, who's the leader? Who's the pro? I know on the defensive side, it's TJ, it's Cam, it's Minka. This is the second youngest offense in football. Who's the pro? Who's going to be the leader that makes it very clear that this is not okay? Like, guys, when I watched that from Deontay Johnson a couple weeks ago, and I watched that from George Pickens, and then I hear George Pickens' comments, I start to think to myself, yo, what does Ben Roethlisberger think?
Yeah.
What does Heath Miller think? What does Antoine Randall L. or Hines Ward or Brett Keaton, the Steelers that I grew up watching, they would never.
Ryan Clark.
They would never stand for that. And it makes me think this. When did this become okay in Pittsburgh? When did this become okay?
Yes.
This was okay in other organizations because they weren't Pittsburgh.
Yeah, there's a standard there that I think everybody knows.
This would never happen
And
in
you know
Baltimore.
what? One thing that I'll just finish this up with, I've covered George Pickens all the way back to his college days. This guy is uber talented. He's excellent. I think it's worth saying we want to see him perform at that high level that we know he's capable of.
David
and
Njoku for the Cleveland Browns had a awful burn, fire injury, and played that subsequent
when
game.
Everything that touched his face.
You think he was caring about getting hurt?
Yeah, exactly. All right, we'll keep an eye on this situation. Let's get Adam.